Well, with 3 local stores, Apollo Spas has been a fixture in the Inland Northwest for almost 30 years.
But did you know their spas and tubs are actually made right here as well? Derek Dice paid a visit to their Spokane Valley factory for our latest edition of Made in the Northwest.
Apollo started making spas in 1988, but the business originally started by making boats.
When the early gas crunch came on, people weren't buying boats, so we thought, hey, let's kind of do something inside out, and we started making spas. And we've been making spas ever since.
But while their spas are all about relaxation, Apollo's spa making process is painstaking. It starts with forming. A flat sheet of acrylic is baked in an oven at 300 degrees.
It then goes into a mold and gets vacuum formed into the mold, which actually ends up becoming this spa.
Next, the back of that mold is sprayed with 200 pounds of polyurethane.
That's the strengthening agent. That's what makes it hard as a rock. We can hit it with a baseball bat, it's not going to break, but it still flexes.
The excess acrylic is then trimmed off to create the perfect shape before all of the holes for the jets are drilled.
We build a product to hold water, and then we put several hundred holes into it. Everything has to be precise. Every jet back at a certain angle, it's got to be precise to make sure there's no leaks.
Gaskets and plumbing are put on next. The frame, which is made in Apollo's own little wood shop, is attached with the help of this crane. Then all of the components like motors, heaters, and Apollo's ozone mixing chamber are installed.
It's forcing the ozone through that mixing chamber, breaking up the molecules, attaching itself to bacteria and the gross stuff that hot tubs can have, and basically oxidizing it out, burning it out so you have cleaner, clearer water.
While many companies test their tubs for just a few minutes, Apollo tests each one overnight.
If you can test it overnight and everything passes with flying colors, it's perfect.
In addition to the extensive overnight testing they do for things like temperature and lights, Apollo Spas and their mother company Arctic Spas are the only ones in the world with these replaceable redundant relays. So instead of replacing an entire motherboard at about $900, it only costs you about $40 or $50, which is huge for the customer.
After this flooring is put on, the process finishes with insulation and panels. And Apollo's northern insulation system helps you save money on electricity.
We're trapping all that heat inside that can actually transfer through the shell, keep the water at that 104 degrees without having to have your heater come on.
Nowadays, people want it all in their spa.
So people want spas with TVs. Yep, TVs. Lights and hundreds and jets and blowers and all this kind of fun stuff.
And as they've been doing since the late 80s, Apollo continues to deliver. For Made in the Northwest, I'm Derek Dice, KXLY 4 HD News.
Derek, thanks so much. You can watch Derek's Made in the Northwest features on KXLY.com. Just click on the Spotlight tab.